Hey y'all. So I'm going to start doing these hot takes, these DEI hot takes, and it's going to be reactive to what's going on in the media right now with DEI, what's going on in the world. And today's DEI hot take is that they are wrong about DEI. And by they, I mean those who are talking about how DEI is racist, how DEI is divisive, how DEI only gives preferential treatment for some groups over others. DEI is not any of those things. At the end of the day, DEI is just about the differences that we bring into the workplace every day, making sure we're not treated any differently because of those differences, and building a workplace where everyone, including older white men, y'all are part of this. You're part of DEI. You don't want to believe it, but you are. I promise you, to make everyone feel valued, respected, seen, and heard. So that is my hot take today. There's been a lot building up to this hot take. So first off, I got my first hate mail from an anti-DEI warrior. I was told that they did not want to work with me because, quote, we do not hire incompetent people to dismantle against white people, to discriminate against white people. Heaven is a place you'll never be, unquote. So I was told that I would not go to heaven, and you can infer what that means. So I actually reached out to this person because they responded via email, and I had a conversation with them. And interestingly enough, they pretended like they never said the comment. Like the whole first 20 minutes of the conversation was like a normal networking call. And so I had to bring this person back into the loop and say, hey, what you said in that email to me, no, we don't hire incompetent people to discriminate against white people, was not only wrong, but incredibly offensive. You need to, own up to what you said. And they backtracked and backpedaled and tried to get themselves out of it. But I really wanted to make sure I brought it to their attention that what they said is harmful and hurtful. And, it's getting in the way, that messaging, that mindset is getting in the way of important work being done. I've also been participating in some online battles. You might have heard of the anti-DEI crusader, Robbie Starbuck, who's been taking credit for dismantling DEI programs at companies such as John Deere and Black & Decker. And it's interesting because these organizations, a lot of them were already stepping away from DEI, but Robbie is taking credit for it, which I think is really dangerous. And also, some of these companies, they're not abandoning DEI altogether. They're just, refocusing their efforts. And so I think the language, the anti-DEI rhetoric is getting the story wrong. What I'm finding more broadly is DEI isn't going anywhere. It's just getting more quiet, right? And the companies that are abandoning DEI, well, they're the ones that were never really full throttle in the first place, right? So for something to be a competitive advantage, by definition, not everyone can be doing it, right? And in 2020 and 2021, all organizations pretty much were doing DEI. The vast majority. Now that we don't have the vast majority of organizations doing this work, that means those who do DEI are going to see that competitive advantage. They're going to get more talent. They're going to retain that talent. They're going to have more innovation. They're going to have higher engagement, productivity, and all those then contribute to a bigger bottom line. So for those who think that DEI is not related to the business, think again. While I'm talking about Think Again, I just wrapped up Adam Grant's book, Think Again. It's excellent, and about especially how we can have thoughtful communication to help change our minds and other people's minds. And so there's 3 strategies that I pulled from the book that I think could really apply to how we can combat these anti-DEI arguments, this anti-DEI rhetoric. The first is to be curious, not confrontative, right? And so it's not, hey, you are wrong. It's, why do you have opinions like that? Where did you come to that conclusion? What concerns do you have about DEI? Where did you learn about those concerns, right? And so if we come at it from a curiosity place and less of a confrontative place, we can open up the conversation and have a shared exploration around DEI rather than it being some battleground. The second pointer I learned from Think Again was to use organizational specific data. The McKinsey studies are not working for the DEI detractors, right? They want to know, how is DEI going to help me in my organization? Show me the data. And so that's why I work really closely with my clients to help them pull the data that they have from their HRIS systems, from their sales systems, from their employee management operating systems, and helping them see through their data how diversity, equity, and inclusion is a strength in their organization. And then finally, the third pointer is to reframe DEI as a universal benefit. So as I said at the very beginning of this hot take, we all benefit from DEI. We all have pieces of our identity that maybe we feel like we have to hide or cover in the workforce. And if we were to have more inclusive organizations, we could not spend that energy on hiding who we are, but just come to work as ourselves, as our best selves, not as our full selves, as our best selves. No one wants to see me as my full self in the morning, right? But as our best selves, so then we can just do a great job, right? And people who think they're not a part of DEI, they absolutely fit into that picture. When we have a more inclusive workplace with equitable practices and that we value diversity, we're going to see all of those amazing benefits of not just being able to bring our full selves to work, our best selves to work, as I like to say, but also, have all those benefits I mentioned before in regard to innovation, decision making, better talent pools, better retention, higher engagement, and so forth. So I've been fighting the fight. I've been fighting the fight for DEI. I want to continue fighting the fight for DEI. If you are watching this on LinkedIn, there is a LinkedIn group that I'm going to put in the captions that you can join. It's a private group, so I have to approve you because I want to make sure that we have just pro DEI people in this group. Now, having broader conversations is important, but we need to have a group to figure out what those conversations could be and give each other the response lines, the resources, the arguments. We can start fighting back. So join our Fight for DEI group, the Future of DEI group. Especially if you're watching this on LinkedIn. If you're not watching this on LinkedIn, head over to LinkedIn and go join the group. And then also, when it comes to talking about the value that DEI brings to the organization, the bottom line value DEI brings, I have built a ROI of DEI calculator. Now it just looks at turnover costs, right? You have to work with me if you want to get, more data in there. But if you're curious for how much your organization could be saving when it comes to DEI, the effect that DEI has on turnover, go to my website, mattingleysolutions.com. It's right there on the front page. Click on the calculator and go ahead and try it for yourself and see what type of bottom line value DEI could bring to your organization just in turnover costs alone. All right, so just to recap, they are wrong about DEI, y'all. They are getting it wrong. DEI is a huge business advantage. DEI isn't going anywhere. It might be a little quieter than it was a year or two ago, but it is not going anywhere. There's plenty of organizations still very much doing this work. And we just got to fight the fight against the anti-DEI haters, right? Because they're just louder. They're not right. They're just louder. And so let's keep the fight going. They're wrong about DEI. Be sure to tune in every Monday. I'm going to either have one of these hot takes, that was today, our hot take, they're wrong about DEI, or I'll be having a Better Humans at Work, which is a live stream interview between me and another DEI or talent expert talking about what they're doing to make life better for humans in the workplace. In the meantime, please take